Hello everyone, TJ here, and welcome to my LEGO room. I've been having a great time seeing all the entries into the next section of the NASCAR of Star Wars contest. There's some really great builds out there, but this week we're going to take a break from the competition and look at a new mock from TJ's LEGO room. As I was looking through my final order army and collection, as well as a lot of the vehicles that I have, I started to think about what other vehicles I could add to the army that would be useful to the current forces that I have. Of course, the first thing I landed on was doing a recolor and like slight redesign of an AT-RT. This is obviously the one that I've shown before, but unfortunately, when I thought about it, I realized that one of the main purposes of the all-terrain assault walker, the ATAW, or the Cyclops Walker as I like to call it, one of the main purposes of that was to be a bridge between the AT-ST and the AT-RT. So another walker just seems like a poor choice. So I kind of nixed that. But upon further reflection of different vehicles that I could adapt into the final order, I stumbled on an old Prequel era vehicle, the STAP, or Single Trooper Aerial Platform. So, the first STAPs were designed originally for the Trade Federation Army, the Droid Army, and they were actually a pretty clever and unique design for the Star Wars universe. So they're kind of loosely inspired. If you look at any of the videos, the behind the scenes, or read any of the books about the design, they were inspired both by hummingbirds, which really did inform their final shape, as well as the 80s style stand-up jet skis, something of which I luckily have personal experience. And they are really awesome. If you ever get the chance to ride one, they're pretty cool. Anyway, the fact that they were piloted by droids made the position of the pilots or the droids on these things a lot easier to design, because since droids don't get fatigued or require extra supports, tongue twister, they could just latch onto the back and stay there basically till their power cells run out. We did see a few organics, creatures flying these crafts, humans, as it were. Here's another one of the ones that LEGO came out with. We saw them being used a couple of times in the Clone Wars TV series and the animated movie, but only for short periods of time. I doubt that they were very comfortable and that they would want to use them for very long. I do, however, see a lot of value in this craft, and as a ground support and anti-personnel vehicle, I think it would work really well. It has dual blasters, some light armor for deflecting the blaster fire, and can not only traverse normally unpassable terrain by hovering, like we see with speeder bikes and other hovering vehicles, it also can be airborne for short periods of time and provide light air support. We actually get to see this a little bit in the Clone Wars animated movie, and that was during the assault on the planet Teth, when Anakin commandeers one and when he's racing Ahsoka up the cliff. Now, supposedly these vehicles actually stayed in use all the way through the Clone Wars, and even made it into the original trilogy era through some Jawa who retrofitted one, put some ion blasters on it, I think, and the whole purpose. You know what? That's not important. You can go ahead and look that up on your own time if you really want to. But from there, they really disappear, and they leave behind a kind of smoking crater for a vehicle of this type, and to my knowledge, has never been revisited or refilled through any of the series until now. So, behold the final order STAP. I made a few adjustments to the standard design, but for the most part you can see the obvious carryovers from the original. The propulsion engines, the flaps, the dual blasters, they're all kind of standard fare for STAPs. But taking a cue from Darth Maul's speeder from episode 1, as well as doing a little physical testing and standing myself, holding on to stuff and getting a position nice, I opted to give the pilot an easier way to stay on the bike, which is that little back section right there. So while this was challenging to build, once I got started, it really came together really quick. I had a fun time building it, and the instructions are up on Rebrickable.com for free. So once again, you're welcome, Galaxy. Now, even in this small package, I was able to design and include a little feature here, and it has to do with how you would park it. Alright, so once you pull it off of the stand and extricate the driver, the driver is held on in 4 places. Both of his hands clip on, and then his feet clip on as well. Let's make sure we didn't lose anything. Perfect. We're good to go. All right. So once you've got the pilot off of there, you can go ahead and lower these flaps down, put them straight down, and then you can lower the back end and all the different pieces and moving parts down like that. And not only does it kind of look cool as like a little turret thing, but this is how I imagine the thing would park, so that your little minifigure could run up from behind, jump up, land their feet in the magnetic boot clamps, and then grab onto the handles, and then the back of it would raise up, and the whole thing would lift up and take off. So that was kind of the idea on that. I've got another one right here. Already put together, so I'll go ahead and talk about that. So the ship is very stable, and the stand is also very stable. Both of them by themselves are just great. However, the connection point between the two is a little tenuous. If you're playing without the stand or displaying it on the stand, it actually does work better than you would think once you put them on, because like even just little bumps, it feels like it's going to come loose, but it actually doesn't. I've left it up for days on this thing. I've actually had this built for a couple weeks, and the stand actually holds it quite well. And not only that, but you can pose it on some cool little angles. Well, as long as you keep the whole thing overall balanced, it should be fine. But yeah, again, I left it up for days without any problem. With bumps, bumping the table that it was on, as well as having a few sets crash nearby, and it still didn't affect how it was attached. So that was pretty awesome. So there you go. There's our final order. STAP. I know it's kind of a shorter video today. If you guys really want me to, I could do a build video and show you how to build it, or you can just head over to Rebrickable.com. Just let me know. Just get a hold of me. Let me know that you want to build video, and I'll go ahead and throw that together for you. Shouldn't be a huge problem. It'll be super easy. Barely an inconvenience. So if you are able to build this yourself, and if you feel inclined to, you can share your creations with me. I always do enjoy seeing the creativity that I had some small part in inspiring. It's very satisfying for me. So, but knock it over. But until next time that we are back in TJ's Lego room, play well. Bye.